In order to subscribe to my channel, please click here or click here. Please share, comment and like my videos and channel. Hello guys, welcome back to SaaS with ServiceNow. This is part of ServiceNow 4 minutes video for developers. This is the next lesson of series of REST integration in ServiceNow. In this lesson, we will learn about parsing JSON response from REST API. As a developer, if you have done integration, you must have got the responses from different applications in different formats. Let's say you get the response in JSON format. How can you read, how can you segregate that response so that you can populate that data into your current system? Because you will get the whole body, however, you have to read the data which have been sent by another system. And that's how you call it as parsing the JSON response. So in this video, I will show you when you get a response from another system, which is in JSON format, how exactly you can parse it. So if I go to my personal developer instance, so this is my primary instance, which is the source instance. And this is my destination instance. So we will basically fetch some data from this instance, and maybe we will create some records in this instance. In this case, you will be able to learn how exactly you update the data or maybe use the data from another system and create records or maybe update records with the help of that response. So in order to show you this demo, I'm going to use a different table this time. As of now, whatever demo I showed you, we were talking about sys user table, we were talking about incident table. Or whatever sessions I have taken till now, we were always talking about these type of task table. Or maybe sys user table. But in this example, in this demo, I'm going to use asset management table. So I thought just to show you a different example so that you understand better. So in this example, I will show you that how this primary instance will keep on checking for the new assets created in this secondary instance and create same assets in this primary instance. That means it has to read the data. So it is not basically that particular instance. That means our destination instance or maybe secondary instance is not creating the record from there. It is not doing the outbound from that system. That means not from here. What we will do, we are going to check. That means event will be triggered from this instance. This is primary. And it will check that instance that is secondary, that, hey, do you have new records in your system? If the answer will be yes, then this system will create the records as per the data received from this system. Now, in order to do that, we will first check the API for basically that table, asset table in this instance. So I will go to quickly asset table first because I want to show you that for which application I'm talking about. So here is the asset management application we have. You can see over here. It tracks all the assets. So I will go to all assets. Now here you can see all the assets of your instance. Now this is out of the box instance and this is personal developer instance. So these are all demo data. Similarly, even if I talk about this primary instance, I would have similar assets in this instance as well. But in order to differentiate, I'm going to create some demo data as well. That means just kind of an example over here. So that I will just create few assets and I will try to fetch them in our primary instance and create the data. And that's how you will come to know that how you basically read the JSON response, parse it and use it in your primary instance. So in that case, and it is just an example, guys. You might get similar kind of JSON response from any other system apart from ServiceNow as well. It should not be just ServiceNow instance. It can be any instance. So in that case, if you get those kind of responses, how exactly you can parse it, how exactly you can use it, how exactly you can segregate it, that is what you're going to learn today. So what I will do, I will quickly go to API Explorer, that's REST API Explorer. So I will quickly open this. Why I am doing that? Because I need to just check the API, because I have to create those configurations in my another instance. Now here, I will select basically retrieve records from a table, and we will keep selecting this get. But here I will select the table name, and the table name should be the asset table name. So I will search for asset. So we have this ALM asset. I will select this one. And now I will come a little bit bottom. Now here I can put a query, because if I will do the query, I will do a get from primary instance, it might return all the data. So maybe we will put some filters so that we can create over there. So what I will do, maybe let me go to asset table again. If I go to all assets, I will just create 2 records just to show you how exactly you can read the responses for 2 new records. So in that case, I will click on new. I will select hardware. And here I will select the model category. And I will select the model. And I will just, maybe I will provide asset tag as well. And this will be maybe AIX1234. That's an example I'm giving it. So I have saved it. So our new asset is created, hardware asset is created, and you can see some other fields are also populated. And what I will do now, I will basically create another asset as well. We will have 2 assets overall. So here is the latest one, and then I will click on new again. I will this time maybe, let's select hardware, that's fine. And I can select the category, model category, maybe computer this time. I can select the model, let's say Dell one, that's totally fine. And I can just put maybe COM1234. That's a asset tag I'm putting. And I will just save it. So it is saved. I already got some information over here. And I will just close it. And I will just open the list of assets in a new tab, just to make sure that yes, you can check the data over here. It has already populated some cost, but our aim is just to fetch the data in another instance. Now these 2 records are not available in our primary instance. So let's say this is definitely a ServiceNow instance, but let's treat it as a third-party instance. Let's not treat just as a ServiceNow. It's a third-party instance, just a third-party application. Let's say it is a third-party application, but as of now, I'm just showing you as part of the ServiceNow instance. But it can be any third-party application where your ServiceNow instance will hit that instance and fetch the data. So similarly, we have these 2 applications. So our one application is ServiceNow, and this is another third-party application. So what exactly we will do now, these 2 records are not available in our primary instance. So the goal is basically, the requirement is that whenever a new asset is created in this particular application, I need to create with same information in that primary instance. That's a requirement. How can I achieve it? I have to do a get query. So for that, what I will do, I will just quickly check this API Explorer first, because I have to put those settings. But before that, I will put some filters which I can use as a parameter. How exactly? So I will do created maybe in last maybe 2 hours. Let's do 2 hours. So whatever assets they got created in last 2 hours, I will get that data in my primary instance. That means in my primary ServiceNow instance. So in that case, what I will do, I will just copy this query I will paste it over here, and I will just make the limit as 10, and I think we can just keep as it is, and I can just click on send. If I will do that, this will basically return the response over here, and this will have 2 brackets, and this is in JSON format. That's a response body. Now, in order to basically hit this system from this system, I have to create a REST message. But how exactly this system will come to know that another ServiceNow instance or maybe another application has created some new records? So basically we will create a scheduled job so that the system can keep on check that, hey, did you create the new record in last 2 hours? So it will say, yes, I do have 3 or 4 records or whatever records, and then it will return the response. So let's create the REST message first, and then we will create the scheduled job so that we can fetch the data regularly from another system. So in that case, I will go to REST message, and we already have this integrate with another ServiceNow. So I can just click on it. So you can see we already have all the configurations available over here, and we did default get. We also did create incident, but now this time we are going to fetch the data from asset table. So I'm going to create a new method now. So let's create a new method, and here I can just do get assets. That's it. And I can just select get. Here I have to put the endpoint. Now, as of now, we were just doing the integration for incident table or maybe the user table. But now I have to change the endpoint. So I will go to my destination instance. So that means the secondary instance. I will just fetch this URL. So let me just fetch the URL. So this is the endpoint. I will copy and paste it over here. Authentication, I can just inherit from the parent, so I don't have to change anything. And if I come over here in HTTP request, I can still put the accept one. So I can just put accept, and here I can put the value application/JSON because we are going to get the response in JSON format. And in query parameter, I think let's do one thing because we have to add the query parameter. What that query parameter we have to put? So that query parameter is basically this one, sysperm query. If I will add it over here and just save it, and I can just copy rest of the value over here, save, and I have another parameter as well, that's sysperm limit. So I will just go to till end. So what I can do, I can just copy this sysperm limit, add another parameter, and I can give the value as 10. And what I can do, I can just remove the whole data from here, and I can just keep till this ALM underscore asset. That's it. That's our main endpoint. So I will just save this. It is saved. So our new method for getting the assets is created. So it will fetch the assets from another instance. And if I come over here, so I have these data. So what I will do a quick test whether I am able to get the data or not. So first I will do one thing. I will click on test. And if you will see, yes, we are able to get the data. So you can see we are getting this data over here. That means we are able to get the response successfully for that asset table. And you can see we got 2 records. Now, you will find some online applications which will basically format the JSON data. Whatever data you have, it will try to format it so that you understand the format of that data, and then you perform the coding, then you read and segregate or get the values from that JSON format. So in that case, I will just copy this one. because we know as of now we will get basically this same response every time, because we mentioned the condition as created in last 2 hours. So that's what we mentioned. So in that case, here is the bookmark I have already saved. So I will click on it, and the website's name is freeformatter.com, and I will just paste the same link what you can see over here. I will paste the data over here, the whole response, whole body, and I will just click on this format JSON. Once you will do that, you will be able to read that how exactly the format we got. So you can see we got result, we got this data. So if I will like collapse this, you will see that we got lot of data over here. Okay, it is still sending, it is not using the parameter, it is sending the whole data, guys. You can see here it is sending all the records of another system, and that's what we don't need. But it says system query created on last 25202. I think it is not following the exact value which we really want. So maybe we can do one thing, and if I come over here and I have this basically system query over here, so I can just copy that value. Maybe I will just copy the whole URL, and I can just go back, because it is sending the whole data. That's something we don't need right now, because I am just looking for specific data that is created in last 2 hours. And that's really important to check that JSON body, that what kind of response you are getting. So in that case, if I come over here, I think it should be good, but let me just put the data over here, and I will just remove this till here. And we have system view, I will remove that, and I think we should be good. If I save this, I click on save. I know the reason why it is not basically using this parameter, the reason behind it, and I will quickly tell you why, because I know the reason. Because we are putting the right value over here, it's still not sending the right parameter. So if I click on test again, the reason behind it, because you cannot write anything in this particular field more than that value. So it is basically cutting the parameter, and that's the reason it is not sending the right parameter to that particular instance. That means that that instance is not getting the right parameter. I think it's a new learning, I would say. So, but that's fine. Overall, we know that we are getting the response, and we will resolve it, because we don't need this test over here, because I just wanted to test whether we are able to get the response or not. So I will just discard it, and I will come over here, and I think we can just go to our instance again, and I will just copy the whole parameter again. So I will just copy this one till maybe here, copy. I will go over there, and I can just put the parameter value, and I just need to remove till here. I will just remove this. So we have whole parameter value. So I can just click on save. So I'm not going to do test now, because we have already tested that we are getting the response, but I will show you the data will be squeezed. How? You will see quickly. So we have created the method now, and now I will just click on this preview script usage, because I have to put this script in our scheduled job, which will keep on check for the new record. So you can see I will just copy this one, close, and now I will go to schedule job. I will go over here. So here I will click on new. I will click on this, because we have to run the script frequently. I will make it inactive, because I don't want to run the script every time, because this is my personal developer instance. But if you might get this kind of scenario, then you can make it active as per your use case. So I will just mention over here, get assets from dev 70731, and I can just put the script over here. So it will call the same REST message, integrate with another ServiceNow. It will call this method which we created, And I think everything should be good because all your profile is set, everything is set. The only thing is we just need to check whether we are able to log the body or not. So let's do that. So if I just put, because as of now, you're not overriding anything. So whatever data, whatever configuration you have in your REST message, it will send as it is. But if you want to override, for example, maybe authentication profile, maybe the parameter, that's something you can do. So, but for example, for now, I'm just doing gs.log and I'm just logging the response for now. And I will do response body and I will start with parse demo. But that's what we have to read the data. But as of now, I have not done that yet because I'm just creating the REST message and a skill job. But you will see now that how you can read the data from the JSON body. So I will click on save. And now I will click on execute. And let's see if I will get something. So I will go to logs. And I can just click on all. Now here I will go to execute now. If I click on execute, it will trigger that REST message. And if I refresh it, absolutely. Can you see that? We got the whole response. We got parse demo. And I think it is still sending the whole data. It is not basically, putting that parameter. So what we can do, we can still use it by entering over here. We can do that. So what you can do, let me go to this message and let me just cancel it from here. And even the limit, let's do that. And I can just save it. And now I come over here and if I copy the whole URL this time, let's copy the whole URL. And if I go over here, and I just mentioned, I'm not overriding the endpoint right now. I can do that in my this script, that scheduled job in basically scheduled job we had. It can definitely, like if I want to override, I can do that, but I'm not doing it right now. So what I can do, I can just keep the same endpoint. That's totally okay. And I will click on save. Let's see what kind of response we will get. But before that, I just want to copy this whole data maybe. So I will just copy. I think it has a lot of data. So I will just show you over here. Maybe if I will put it, because I want to show you the difference. That if I am changing the configuration, will it change? Will it be okay? I have to remove this parse demo. I have to click on format JSON again. And this time you can see again, it has a lot of data, all the records, but I don't want that. And I am going to basically execute now. That I will do. So I'm going to reload it and I'm going to click on execute. And if I go to logs and I just refresh this, you can see we got the data, but this time it is squeezed. It is not the exact data which is over here. You can see a lot of objects we got, a lot of values we got over here. But here is the squeezed data. How we got it? Because now our parameter got worked. So in that case, I am going to copy this whole data and you will see how many records we have got. So I'm going over here. I'm putting the whole data. I am removing that parse demo because I don't want that. And I'm just clicking on format JSON. And I will show you, you only have 2 records. The reason behind it, because our parameter worked, the query parameter which we mentioned, that it should only return those records which were created in last 2 hours. That's it. And that's what we created. And we got only 2 records in the system. Now you can see that we got 2 records. How would you be able to read the values for each record? That's how you have to use the parsing, because we will parse this response, that's JSON, and we will loop this JSON response, and then we will read each value. How exactly we will do? Let's go to over here. Basically, we will do it in our scheduled job. So I will just go back. I'm sure I will reach to scheduled job. So here is our scheduled job. So what I will do now, in order to parse the JSON response, you have to start with, you will just store that value in a variable. So you can create any variable. So let's see, I'm just creating parsed data equal to, I can just mention response body. Okay, I can just start with parse, not response body. I have to parse the response body, but I have to do JSON dot. That's how you parse any JSON response. So if you're getting the JSON response, you have to start with the string. Syntax has to be the same. You can still change the variable that is parsed data. It can be different, but when I'm writing from here, it has to be same. So let me make it full screen so that you can see better. And I'm just going over there. So you have this JSON dot parse. That's exact syntax you have to use. Put the brackets. Here you have to put this variable where you have stored the body, the response body, which is in JSON format. I will put the semicolon. Now you have to read each value. So what I will do, I will basically print those values in the logs, because that's the main target I'm talking about, that how exactly you can parse the data when you get the response in JSON format, how exactly you can parse that JSON format. So in that case, what I will do, because I showed you we got 2 records, and as of now I'm getting 2 records, but you might get multiple records. So in order to reach read each record, basically attributes and values, then you have to loop the basically array. How you will do that, I will show you. The reason behind it is a JSON array. So because I really want you to understand, it's a JSON array, because every like it's a JSON array where we have the object and we have the value basically as well. So that's what you are keep on iterating, that okay, let's iterate this one and then iterate this one, and you might get multiple values, and you have to keep on iterating with the help of, you have to keep on checking with the loop. It depends what kind of value you want to get. So as of now I'm getting 2 values, 2 records. So I will come over here in this script. Here what I will do, I will start with for. Now I have to basically write the loop. So I will do I equal to 0. And here I can do parsed data. Now where exactly we have that array? The array basically starts from our result, because result will have multiple values. So in that case, I will do parse data dot result, and I can do dot length. That's what it will calculate, the length of that array. How many values we have, because it will check it. So maybe that result will have maybe, for example, 2 records for now. And I will just do I less than, that's it. Because the length of array will be 2, and I want to loop it, start with 0 and then 1, that's it. So it will not reach to 2, because we only have 2 records, 0, 1, that's it. But if I talk about length perspective, we have two count as part of the length. So I will just do semicolon I plus plus. And if I come over here, what I will do, I will show you by logging each record's data. Let's say we will read the asset tag. So the name of the field in both the records will be, because field will not change, it's asset underscore tag. How will I print that asset tag for both the records? What you will do the asset tag is, and that value will be, you just need to copy here, put it over here, and you have to do like this, because that's an array and you have to iterate with each object you have over there. So here we are just looping the value we have. So, and we have multiple values basically in that result. So in that case, it will iterate with the whole every object we have in that particular array. So what I will do, I will just do semicolon over here. So we have parse data dot result, and we are putting I because it will keep on putting first 0 and then it will loop again and put 1 because that's the array we have. So that's how you iterate an array. You have to perform the loop. So in that case, I will just click on save and you will see the magic. So asset tag is, okay, I forgot one thing because I have not put in the name of the field. So that's something you have to put, and that is asset underscore tag. So you'll put that result I, and then you have to put dot asset tag. This will print the asset tag for each record. How many records? It will iterate only 2 times, 0, 1. And then I'm going to click on save. It will save it, and I'm sure it will print it. So I'm going to execute now. If I click on execute, let's see what kind of response we'll get. So here's the log, and we will check. I will refresh the list. Absolutely, you can see over here we got com1234, which I will go over here and you will see, yes, we got the same asset tag, and we got this one as well for both the records. That means it looped and it printed as well. So we used for loop and it is keep on printing. Now similarly, if you have to use basically JSON data, whatever body you are getting, you have to read it and populate it somewhere. That's our next section, that how you can populate this data in one of your different tables, because as of now we did not create it.